All right, guys. A very special podcast. I'm here at Odd Muse, hanging out with Charlie. Why I sound British when I said your name? But anyway, I'm here at Odd Muse, about to record a very special podcast. I had a few podcasts in mind. False Idol was not gonna be number one. Odd Muse number two. Intrinsic number three, and a few other people down the list. So just FYI, that's gonna be the next podcast, Intrinsic. But I'm here, Odd Muse, hanging out with Charlie and hanging out with Bobby, drinking the Space Odyssey. Not Odyssey. Space Oddity. Oddity is fucking fire. So if you haven't got some, definitely get some now. Cheers. So, welcome, guys, back to actual Odd Muse podcast. The last time we did this, we had like a little party going on, and it was like kind of a makeshift podcast.
Right.
Thank you, first of all, both of y'all for letting me set up in the back. We were just here with a bunch of people, and you're like, yeah, you can set up in the back.
Yeah,
and
man.
then,
That was a fun night.
yeah, it was a great night. I was already drunk. I wasn't planning on doing that, but you guys were very great hosts, as always, first and foremost, so thank you. And then now this is the official podcast.
Right
So
on.
for people watching and listening, I'm here with Charlie. For some reason I said his name in a British accent earlier. Or attempted British accent.
It was attempted.
Attempted. I don't sound British at all. One half of Odd Muse, and then Bobby, the other half.
Yeah.
And the creator of a lot of these delicious beers.
Nice.
So let's jump into it. So you're on this run. Where I put you, Celestial, and False Idol for the last 3-4 months on a run of delicious fucking beers.
Awesome.
Hey, what's the process of like selecting the beer, the hops, and going on, or just in general, like how do you plan the next beer? Like these beers are just fucking fire.
Thanks, man. So, I mean, it's there's not really a system. We don't really have a system yet. So,
Okay.
Right now, it's what kind of hops do we have to work with? So I was actually looking up yesterday and the day before some new hops to order. So we'll see what comes in. And once I get the hops, it's like, what tastes right. So I'll look at, what other beers have we done with the different hop combinations? What did that taste like? And then, all right, let's try something different. Let's change it up a little bit. Let's change the malt bill a little bit. Let's change the hops up and see what comes out. And so right now it's just kind of tweaking everything. So we got the luxury of not having, made any of these beers before. So we're just trying out and see what works.
But isn't like what they say? What's the saying? Like the necessity is the mother of all creativity.
Yeah.
So you do what you have to do with what you have and make it work. And you've been doing a standout job.
Oh, thanks, man.
And then the brewery still is phenomenal. I know you guys been working hard on social media a lot too. I can't remember if it was Charlie or Bobby who made a statement once saying that you guys were closed longer than you've been open. And that sticks with me for a long time.
Yeah, I think I put that in a post a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it's true.
That is insane. So you guys opened up in January? February?
December.
So I was way off.
Mid-December.
It's December, so you were open maybe 3 months.
Yep.
Yeah, and it was probably 3 months exactly when we closed. Yeah, because it was I think it was like March 17th, March 18th, something like that we closed. Yeah, and then I got to open for 3 weeks in June, but then we had to close down again. So
That's right. I totally forget about the first opening.
Yeah.
Now it's all just a blur. It's like one big just lockdown.
Yeah. Just one little blurb.
Yeah.
oh man, no, it's crazy.
So one thing I've always been curious about is social media. So how you guys been adjusting with the lockdown and still making great social media posts and pictures and stuff?
Man, it's hard to come up with content when there's nothing. I mean, you have new releases, right? New releases are great. Those are great days. You get a lot of posts out of that, but it's hard to come up with new content every day when all you really, you've got curbside. That's all you got. You don't have events. You don't have a lot of pop-ups. So you just kind of wing it.
Again,
You also have a lot of time to figure it out, though.
Different beers in different glasses with different backgrounds and
Yeah.
new pictures.
Yeah.
Well, you did a contest. Was that before the lockdown? Or
It
during
was
the lockdown?
during the lockdown. Yeah,
I like that contest.
Yeah, we did a photo contest, and yeah, we'll probably do another one again. I think one other thing that we did, like right when we were open, the first 3 weeks of June, is we did like a kind of like a private tasting.
Oh,
So
nice.
we sold, I don't know how many tickets we sold, but we're basically enough for each table. So we sold, now we have how many? I think we have 9 tables in here. So we'd sell like 9 sets, like 9 groups of tickets. We'll probably do that again. But yeah, it's basically come in.
I like that idea,
And we did it during brunch, and Rudy.
Yeah. Shout out to
from,
that Rudy Shack.
Yeah, at Rudy's Shack. Came in and he made a brunch. So brunch was included in your ticket price, and you came in and you got to try all. I think at that time it was like 12 beers on the menu. Yeah. And so what we
I
got
forget you
to
guys have a
try
lot of
them.
beers on tap all
Yeah.
the time.
So yeah, we get to try the beers, and then I would go through and kind of describe every beer as we're drinking it. So, yeah, it was neat.
No, that sounds exciting. I highly recommend do that again.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always tasting, right? But
Right.
how often do you have tasting with the brewer?
Yeah.
You know, and then a relaxed setting with food, you know.
Yep. And we did it. I think we did it on like a Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Before we
No, it was
opened.
Father's Day.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Father's Day.
That was the
Yeah.
Father's Day event. I remember you guys saying you're gonna put a Father's Day event, and then I didn't pay attention to it. So that's
Right.
that's horrible on
Yep.
my end. I remember talking to you guys about it, but then I was like, okay,
Yeah.
yeah,
So, yeah. We had talked about trying to do that before we got shut down again. Maybe like once a month or once every other month.
Depending on how you guys feel, I mean, just do it where you don't feel burnt out about it. But once a month, once every other month, either one sounds good to me.
Yeah.
You know, but make it more of an event too. Like if it's every other month, you're like, okay, I'm gonna pay attention to this one. And it's a
Yeah.
small group too, so it's not
Yeah.
too many people get involved in it, so you pay attention to it. Or even
Yeah.
if it's once a month, it's excitement. But like, oh, I missed the last month because it sold out, or I didn't have something to do, but I could go to it next month, and then you had new groups of people coming
Right.
in. You know, and you guys pump out a beer, 2 new beers almost
Oh, it depends.
every week.
It depends. So like this next go around, I think we'll have 1 new beer, and then what is that? Like 3 weeks, 2 weeks from now, something like that. Yeah, and then after that we'll have a few more new ones.
So at the time as the event comes up, there'll be new beers you haven't tried before.
Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
definitely.
And then you
Yeah,
got something to talk
there's-
about.
Yeah, there's always gonna be new beers for sure.
Yeah, and if you're a new guest, you have 12 new beers,
Right.
14
Yeah.
new beers.
Oh yeah,
to
no,
talk
for
about.
sure. No, what's crazy is that day people came in and they had never been here before. That was their first time here. It's just for that tasting. So,
Oh, no way.
yeah.
That's another new audience, right? Getting
Yeah.
someone to do something that never been placed before.
Right.
Like, you sell it, I don't know where you sold the tickets at, but if you get new groups of people to come in, for people who haven't been here at Odd Muse, it's a very quaint but sexy location. Like, as far as the windows are open, it feels very warm and welcome. The artwork makes it feel warm and welcome. And then, it's just like a kind of a hang
Right.
Yeah.
versus industrial. It doesn't
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
industrial.
Right.
So if they never come here before and they come for this one event, they might come back again because, again, it's warm feelings. It looks
Yeah.
sexy with the artwork on
Thanks,
here.
man.
And then you have that wholesome feel like, you know what? Okay, I'm good. I'm good to
Yeah.
hang out here.
Yeah, no, that's the idea, right? That was the idea behind the space, for it to be sort of warm and inviting,
Yeah.
but at the same time, you still have the feeling that you're in a brewery. So
But you kind of see the brewery equipment.
Yeah.
But you don't feel like it's a brewery. This is one thing I don't say, like, so I'm going to mention another brewery that people may not have visited yet, False Idol.
yeah,
That feels like a brewery.
Yeah.
I like it. I like
Yeah.
the space. I love the team. I love the beers. I love
Yeah.
everything about the whole location. But it's one big room that it's open. You see the brewery stuff. So if
Yeah.
you get there early enough, maybe on a Tuesday, it might still be cleaned up, still have that
Yeah.
brewery smell.
Right.
smell, yeah.
So, but this is separated,
Yeah, well, it's not separated by choice too, because we wanted to make it open, right? We wanted to be able to have the brewery and the tap room sort of be like one big space, but because of the city regulations and firewalls and all that good stuff, so we had to put up a wall. So our sort of idea to kind of still make it open was we put windows between the tap room and the brewery. So,
No, that's all. But that's what I like about
Yeah.
it. The windows, you can still see it.
yeah,
Most of the times, by the time you guys open, you're not making.
yeah,
it
we're
Right
pretty
here.
much done. Mhm.
So, but you can still see the equipment. You can see the process. You can see if you talk to even the bartenders here,
Yeah.
or beer tenders, I should
Right.
say. Sorry, beer tenders. You could tell them they could talk about it.
Yeah.
But I like this setup differently than I like False Idol setup with the whole openness.
Right.
Yeah.
I get why you might want to have it open and feel like one big inclusion, one
Yeah.
big family thing. But I just like this makes it feel more quaint.
Sure.
You know.
Thanks, man.
And then you have your pews outside now. Make it feel more like church.
Right.
So maybe either one of you can answer this. What I really, really appreciate is, from me, just being friends with you guys. I know you guys are on good terms with the city of Farmers Branch. How that relationship came about, like that good relationship, because not every brewery has a good relationship with their city.
Yeah.
I mean, I think going through the process, and then the mayor is super cool. He's just a cool dude, and he got involved with the brewery. I think they like having a brewery here, so they made it easy and approachable.
Oh, that makes it easy when he be cool with it.
Right.
You know, I just always hear stories from the outside looking in that breweries are fighting the city on certain things. Most notable example is Turning Point wasn't really fighting the city; they're fighting the people through the city because the people didn't want them there at their location. It's a very public thing that they talked about. People talk about Turning Point, but it just sucks to have that, you know.
Yep. I think a lot of cities, like the what we think of now as like a modern brew pub where they sell beer to go, they have a tap room, but they don't have a kitchen. They make their own beer. I think for some cities it's still a little new, and they don't really know where to put you, so they have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't really know what to expect with Farmers Branch, to be honest with you. But I think, it goes back to just keeping an open line of communication and just being honest with them. I think they appreciated that from the get-go, because I guess they had some bad experiences before or something like that they told us about, and the fact that we were just being completely open about everything we wanted to do. We weren't trying to hide anything, and we wanted to make sure that we were, following all the rules and crossing all our T's and dotting our I's, and so they didn't come back and 2 months later and then get onto us for something. So we tried to be as open as we could and get them to come in and make sure that we were doing what we were supposed to be doing, and I think that helped a lot. So that opened it up and got us in with a good relationship with the fire chief, and then
the fire chief.
The fire chief, then with the planning department and then like Charles said, the mayor. Like, that guy is awesome. Like, he did a thing over and I don't know if a lot of people know, but over like during the shutdown, he came and dropped off, he was like, if anybody wants to buy a crowler, I will buy one on me. And so people came in and they bought crowler, and their second crowler was on the mayor. So so we had a tab running for like the weekend. People would come in and they would see, like, he posted it, we posted it. People came in and they bought. We must have gone through, I don't know how many crowlers that weekend, but yeah. So he's anything he can do to support.
That guy's awesome.
Yeah.
I think it was after that weekend that we actually had to close for a week because we were out of cans. We were out of crowlers, and they were on their way, but we had nothing to put beer in.
That's a good
for like 4 days.
That's a good / bad
Yeah,
problem
exactly.
to have. You want to continue working and selling beers, but like, we sold so much, we're out.
Right.
Nah, it's a good problem to have. But it's awesome to have a mayor like that. We know most people don't really talk about the mayors of their city and how they're involved.
Yep.
On a positive note, usually is a negative light. Same thing with the city council. But I'm just really excited to hear when you guys talk about your reaction, or not reaction, but your relationship with the city is always super positive.
Yeah, and one of the big things that they're doing for us now, at least we think, we'll find out next week. We'll find out for sure, but it sounds like it's going to go through. But they've got some grant money that they're using, and they're going to build us or help us build a patio out front. And so it's going to be big and nice. Like, they're doing it right. So we'll have nice fencing, nice picnic tables, some ground cover, all that good stuff. Yeah.
So that's why you have the pews right now.
That's why there's church pews. Yeah.
Yeah. They dropped off some church pews about a month and a half ago. Yeah, so they intend to use the church pews.
But that saves you so much money, though, if they do that. Even if they just put a fence and buy some patio.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some picnic tables. That saves so much money on you guys. And then you can finish out the rest however you see fit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's awesome. They also let you use, it's not a walkway. I was going to say the walkway, but the curb.
Yeah.
They're going to allow you to use the curb for a patio.
Yeah.
Right? I've heard horror stories. Again, these are all horror stories. You don't ever hear the good stories, right?
Right.
But how the city won't let you use the patio, like grass area you have, because that's a different ordinance and stuff like that. It becomes a hassle. But just to hear these positive story. I just want to highlight it. That I hear nothing but great things every
Yeah.
time you guys talk about the city.
Oh, dude, yeah, no, I mean, we haven't had any bad experiences with the city, so. I think they want us here, and they like us being here, so.
I like you guys being here. So a lot of people still travel for like small competitions or training,
Yeah.
and I'm blessed for people ask me where to go, and most of the time I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know where to go in Dallas. I
Right.
go to the same places all the time. I drink beer.
Right.
I eat the same food.
Right.
And I go home.
Right.
I don't know where to go.
Yeah.
But they're like, so what beers you go to? I was like, all right, you going Dallas limits or you want outside Dallas? If you're gonna go within the city limits of Dallas, Celestial and Muse is the place to go.
Yep.
If you want to extend that a little further, you know, you can go to Turning Point, Full
Yeah.
Sidle,
Yeah. A little
Brutal,
bit further out.
Intrinsic.
Yep.
You know, you get a little further out. But this is the spot to go to for
Yeah.
dope ass.
Have you been to Outfit?
I love the Blue Eyes outfit.
Yeah.
I love those eyes. But if
Yeah.
they're here's the thing about how I say this place is warm
Right.
and inviting and sexy, and I like it. If you're not a real beer person,
Yeah.
outfit's really hard to say go to outfit. Not because they're not great and
Right.
that people are not great. No, it's just it looks sketchy.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
it looks very sketchy. You like you walk up like
Uh.
behind here, and there's an
Yeah.
insurance place right here. I'm like, there's a sex shop down the street.
Right.
it gets a little.
It's funny. We looked at a spot like around the corner from there, and yeah, I'm kind of really glad we didn't end up over there. But
I'm really glad you didn't end up over there either. I mean, I think you guys will still have the traffic as far as people coming because you guys make dope beers.
Yeah.
The dope beers will make people come regardless. Same thing with Division. When people ask me, hey, I'm gonna swing by Arlington, is there any dope breweries to go
Right.
to?
yeah,
I always have to ask them, like, how deep are you into beer? Do you really like beer or just like drinking? Like,
Right.
just like drinking. If you like drinking, there's a bunch of bars and
Yeah.
there's legal
Right.
draft. But if you love beer, you have to go to Division.
Yeah.
But that's also a very sketchy place. You walk in this
I remember it.
it's in between two buildings, and you walk up a dirt trail.
oh shit,
And it doesn't look like anything's there because there's
Yeah.
two warehouse doors
Right.
open on both sides. The comic book shop used to be on the left-hand side, and then the brewery's on the right-hand side. But it's just dirt trails with patio, and it just looks sketchy as
Man.
shit.
yeah. I've been meaning to make it out there. I haven't been there
The
yet.
best shit always is sketchy looking.
It always food and drinks, but you have to ask people: you really into this food, or you
Right.
really into drinking?
Yeah.
Because if you are, this is a spot to go.
Yeah.
And it looks sketchy, or you just kind of just want to get drunk. If you
Right.
want to get drunk, this place is down the street.
Right.
But no,
Yeah, yeah, and that's
outfit's great.
And with us, like technically we're in Farmers Branch, but when people hear we're in Farmers Branch, they assume that we're like on 35 and 635.
True.
And it's the opposite. Like we're like less than maybe a quarter mile from the Galleria. Like you could probably walk there if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Like we're pretty much far north Dallas at this point. So much so that our gas company even considers us Dallas. When
Yeah,
I try to
like,
tell them we're
depending
Farmers
on-
Branch.
What database you're in, like for billing? Same with like our cable. It's Dallas in their database. So
No way.
Yeah, we're
Well,
right
you
on the
guys
cusp.
right on the border though.
Yeah,
Come on.
we're in this weird little cusp between Dallas, Addison, and Farmers Branch.
I live in a weird area because I live not too far from OHB and Intrinsic. I live in this little weird area where I live in Dallas, but I'm right next to Richardson and I'm right next to Garland. Like I go to the right, I'm in Garland. If I
Right.
go to the left, I'm in fucking Dallas. If I go north, I'm in fucking Richardson. Like I'm in a weird little spot.
Yeah.
And it just happens to work like that when
Yeah.
you're on the fucking border of places. It fucking happens, man. It gets weird. But this is why not just because you have great beers, you guys make this place makes you feel welcome, and you guys make everybody feel welcome.
That's
It
awesome.
comes from I forgot the guy's name working right now.
Gabe.
Gabe. Sorry, Gabe. I forgot your name. Gabe, Amara, Kevin. You guys. When people walk in, you guys are very welcome.
That's everybody too.
Yeah.
That's the staff.
Yeah, that's the staff. So I know the whole staff. Got it.
Yeah.
For now.
Right.
I can't wait for you guys to be fully open
But yeah,
and back to
that-
normal. But
that was always my intention, right? Like I mean, I always like I when people walk in here, I treat them kind of like they're walking into my house because it's my house, right?
yeah, you're here more than your house. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, if you're coming in here, then yeah, you're welcome. Everybody's welcome. So
Of course. But you guys listen. I'm gonna work on making a new series. Instead of doing beer on a run just to buy a bunch of beers and take it back home and talk about them, I'm gonna buy the beers and talk about why I like the location, the people, and the
Nice.
beers. versus while I'm there.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be the new series. But a lot of it is just because 90% of the time, exchanges between beer tenders and beer owners and reps, it's always pleasant. And I don't understand if it's just Dallas or just the culture of making beer.
Right.
It's just like you guys always make everybody feel great, and I like it. That's why I buy beer. I buy beer with my heart versus taste.
Yeah.
Like if I love the place, I love the people, I'm gonna buy beer.
Right.
Perfect example, Outfit. I'm not a big fan of a lot of Outfit beers, but I'm always gonna buy their stuff. I'm always gonna hang out with them, and I'm always gonna talk about great things about them because I buy my heart.
Yeah.
Right.
I buy my heart, and I'm gonna drink there.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, same thing where here. I like you guys here. It just so happens you guys make dope ass beers too. If you did it, I'll still be here drinking. But you guys make dope beer.
Yeah,
you
thanks,
know?
man.
And I love to hear the process. You come
That's
in?
it, man. Yeah, man. No, that's all good. How's it going, dude? Yeah, dude. It's all good though.
Oh, you good? It's pre-record, so you say hi.
Yeah.
But
We need to.
Yeah, man. Thanks, dude.
sorry, man. 500. Perfect example. Segway. 500 pesos. Delicious. My dad loves it. That's all he drinks. That and the false idol one. I can't remember the name right now.
Yeah, that's the guy that he makes some bomb Michelada mix.
Laka Laka.
Oh, that's that guy.
That's
Yeah.
the guy
Oh
that
my
makes
God.
the
I wish he was.
Michelada mix.
Fuck.
Go get him. If
Go
you
get
want to
him.
talk to him.
What's your name, brother?
Sergio.
Sergio? Victor.
Yes.
Nice to meet you, Sergio. Laka Laka Michelada mix. It is fucking fire. And this is the gentleman who makes it. We could buy it here at Odd Muse.
Not yet. We haven't get it.
Oh.
We don't have it in stock yet, but
Will you be out this? When would you have it in stock?
we haven't had a conversation about it quite yet,
Oh.
but probably within this week.
Well,
I don't exactly know how much he has at home right this second.
What we're gonna
we
do-
just met on Friday.
we're gonna act like you guys for now, and then I'll make a promo about it. But no, we scratch all that. I'm keeping that in, by the way. It's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious. Keeping that in. No, man, that michelada is fucking fire, man. It's delicious.
Appreciate it.
So when you started making your own michelada,
Started at it was at the end of last year, and I actually launched it at the beginning of this year. But it was the recipes were created at I would say November
okay.
of 2019.
Oh,
And,
so young, super
Yeah,
young.
but it's something that I've been working on for quite a bit. I'm originated from Monterrey, Mexico, so I would travel over there to Monterrey, Mexico, and get a lot of ideas with different recipes, different ways that people mix their micheladas, and my family, gatherings and stuff like that, and I started just mixing my own stuff. You know what? And I would go up there and buy my micheladas by the gallon in Monterrey and bring them over here. And I said, you know what? I can start making my own recipes, and that's when I started messing my stuff up, and I came up with the Laka Laka recipe, and the biggest hit that I had is the cucumber one.
the cucumber one.
The cucumber and mango, those are my top sellers.
You have me at cucumber now with mango on it. I love mango. It's my favorite fruit, man.
Yeah.
I'm from the Caribbean. I love mango, man.
Oh, okay.
Fuck
Nice.
yeah. No, so you like micheladas. So
Of course.
it's not, of course. Not, some people don't like it, but you love it. So
Yeah.
you went all the way. Did you drive or fly to Monterrey?
Monterrey, I'll usually drive.
Drive
yeah,
out there.
It's only
That's a big drive, though, man.
Actually, I'm from a little town from outside on the skirts of Monterrey. It's real close to Laredo, so it's about 9 hours from here. So I enjoy the trip. Honestly, just driving up there is just nice and smooth.
Relax. Okay, but you
Alright.
you liked it that much. You were driving out there, and then you decided to make the transition, make your own. Now, it's fire. So, how long? Like, so you've been working on this for years. Bet. Imagine you make this recipe. What made you want to be like, I'm gonna sell it?
It's just the recipe that I created. I just kind of wanted the people to actually have a good michelada, not just a michelada that tastes like tomato.
The shitty tomato juice that everybody drinks. That's normally people make
that's just
micheladas
like
with.
plain and
Feel like you got a michelada, and they're like, yeah, they crack a beer and pour some Zing Zang Bloody Mary mix in
They
it.
say that's how most people make micheladas. Is Bloody Mary mix, which I
Right,
hate
yeah.
Bloody Marys. I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan. I'm not a big fan of Bloody Marys.
And I have a lot of customers that they don't necessarily use beer for it. They mix it. They use it as Bloody Mary, or they even create like tequila shots. Half
shit.
tequila.
Ooh.
You get a double shot of tequila, and then you put half of it with the mix, the other half with tequila, and put some tajin rim on it.
Dude,
You don't need a chaser
Yeah.
at that point.
That's
it's got tequila in their car.
Yeah.
I mean, I got tequila in the house right now.
Yeah, but it's just you can treat it as a cocktail mixer. You know, it doesn't necessarily have to be beer. Beer is the best way that you can try it. 500 pesos was off the chain.
I'm glad you liked it, man.
Man, we loved it. It's like, and like I said, I took it over to my barber's, my friend's barber shop, and
What's the name of that barbershop?
it's called Easy Face Texas Barbers.
Easy Face.
It's in Farmers Branch, yes.
Bet. I'm gonna put the business up here on screen right now.
Yeah.
If you're watching.
Yeah, and they loved it. They tried the beer and they said, "Man, this is a straight up Mexican beer." That's exactly what they say. You know, this is a Mexican beer. I was like, well, yeah, but it's made here in Farmers Branch. It's a local thing, you know. But they loved it. They loved the smoothness of it, and I loved it myself. You can see that. I can't
Thank you.
No, I saw you walk on. I was like, oh, perfect segue. Let's talk about 500 pesos. And they were telling me that you make the Michelada. I was like, yo, get the fuck out of here. I need to come back. I need to talk about this shit. You know, you can't just walk away. I need to talk about this.
Yeah,
But yes, for people who have never had a Michelada listening right now or watching, it's not a Bloody Mary. I'm not a big fan of Bloody Marys. The Tabasco sauce that you put in there, tomato juice, it's not enjoyable to me. Micheladas is different though, and it has a wide variety of it, right?
correct.
And it could be super spicy. It could be more. It's just crazy how different from different.
Yeah,
coasts
it has
of
a lot
Mexico.
of different taste buds into it that sometimes you just feel like, I mean, does it even have tomato?
I don't think so.
I mean, that's the thing though. It is a tomato-based drink, but for all those people out there, because a lot of people are even grossed out of micheladas. They hear the word michelada like, oh no, I've tried micheladas. My uncle made them for me, and I almost threw up. Okay, how about you give this a try? And you tell me what it is, and they become like loyal customers. I think that's
the
the
best way to do
craziest
it.
part of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Question. Do you put ice? And if you're making a michelada at home, you're getting ready, you're about to do whatever, you're about
Yeah,
to
I'll
sit
put
down.
ice
Are
in
you
it.
gonna? You're gonna. Okay. Do you do ice?
Depending on the weather.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I mean, I just feel like a few ice cubes just makes it feel right. I don't know. It's a habit though too. It might be wrong too.
Well, and it's kind of gross, but I always like that last little sip. That's like a little bit of beer, a little bit of michelada mix, and then like where
the
the
ice
ice
cube.
is melted, man, and you get all that little bits of pepper or whatever seasoning you put on your rim.
Man, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that because that's how. I mean, drinking is all about what you like, right? And that's why I kept asking like, what made you want to go on this journey? Because it's what you enjoy. You like making micheladas.
Yeah,
you
of
like
course.
drinking micheladas. And when you enjoy something, you become.
It just comes out natural.
Yeah, it comes out natural. Same thing with Bobby, his beers. He likes beer. If Bobby didn't like beers and you didn't like micheladas, you guys wouldn't have a dope michelada. You would have a dope ass beer.
I look at it like this: if you're trying to accomplish something, but you're forcing yourself to do it, and you're not enjoying what you're doing, then it's not for you.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So if you're not forcing it, it comes out natural, and people love it, and you enjoy what you're doing, then you're gonna keep doing it. Just as like taking a jog, in the morning. Be something very normal for you. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I'm not a jog
that's
person,
how I
but
see
I
it.
am a drinker. And this michelada hits the spot 1,000%. Where can we find you on Instagram or Facebook or website?
Yeah, we're at Laka Michelada on Instagram,
Gotcha.
and also on Facebook as Laka Michelada.
For
And
people listening, it's also going to be in the description down below. And then you have a website that people can
I
order?
do not have a website as of yet. That's something that we'll be working in the future, though.
Nice. There's no rush on it, but you still make dope ass shit, though. That's all that matters. So you about to go home, you got the 500 pesos, you about to go make some micheladas at home?
Oh yeah, I'm about to make some micheladas at home and enjoy some football.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some Cowboys.
I'm a Giants fan, but don't worry.
Hey,
Don't worry about that.
football in general.
Yeah, glad it's back. I'm just glad it's back.
That's the big thing,
Man, but whenever I'm gonna look up on your Facebook to see if whenever you have that cucumber mango one, that's the one I need to get, man.
We've got some here. We'll crack it.
Oh, you have some?
Some of the cucumber, not the mango.
Oh yeah, I'm down with the cucumber too though. But yeah, you have me on mango. That's just delicious. Cucumber's delicious. It also makes it more. Does it make it more bright? Have you tried it?
The cucumber?
Yeah.
No, we haven't even cracked it yet. We were gonna go through this one first, so it's
Ah.
fresh.
Well, the cucumber is something else.
Yeah?
I'll tell you that. Yeah.
Right on.
I would only imagine it makes it brighter, especially with a little bit of beer in it, the
Yeah.
michelada, and then the cucumbers. It just opens
And
up.
there's
those
a lot
flavors.
of different flavors. Like I have the piña, which is pineapple. I have the watermelon. I have coconut. I have. I'm gonna be releasing this soon. I just mastered one yesterday. It was a peach. It's
Oh,
really
dude.
peach.
peach michelada.
God
It's
damn
like
it.
really good. That's something that
My favorite fruit.
that's something that I mastered yesterday, and I actually sampled it over at the barbershop, and they were in love with it. Yeah,
Come on,
so-
imagine a nice
so-
lager, 500 pesos
Yeah.
with a little bit of hint of peach with your michelada. Like, come on.
Yeah, and
Maybe
they
a little
have
bit of
the-
heat.
And then they have the
hot
lima,
sauce?
we have the lima limon original, and of course atomic, which is a spicy one.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay away from the spicy one. I'm Puerto Rican. We don't do spicy food.
Alrighty.
But no, man, brother, thank you for jumping
No,
in.
thank you guys.
Sorry to
for-
interrupt.
Thanks, man. Thanks for
Alright.
coming by yesterday. Thanks for grabbing some beers.
Oh no, hey, thank you guys. Hey, you guys are your stuff is it's really good stuff. Honestly.
Thanks, man. Thank
I
you.
really enjoy the beer that you guys are
No, they're the
putting
best.
out there, man. So,
Thanks, dude.
They're fucking best.
all right.
Have a good afternoon, bro.
You too. You have a
Thank
good
you,
one,
man. I'll holler at you this week.
All right, sounds good.
Later, dude.
I ordered some on. You can order. I'm order some on your Facebook, and I'll pick some up.
All right.
I need some of my fucking life.
Thanks, man.
I look into see what I have right now. I'll bring one in for you.
Oh, thank you. Oh,
Yeah, dude.
can't go wrong with this.
Now, man.
By the way, for people watching, don't believe I. So Don will make fun of me. He says I don't like micheladas. I don't like bad ones. So this is the original.
It's good because it's like it's not super thick. Like it's
No, it's not.
It's you know what I mean? Yeah, Bloody Marys mix sometimes it's almost like it's thick. That mixes well.
That right here, again, for people who don't think I drink this micheladas, I do like a good michelada. And like he said, you can have bad micheladas, you have good micheladas. But this right here is easy drinking. Like I said, it's not too thick, so it covers my whole tongue.
Right.
The problem with it being too thick, people just think you want that and you can mix your beer,
Right.
waters it down. What happens is you lose the beer flavor.
Yes.
With a mix like this, you still get the profile of the beer with it. So if I was drinking this with 500 pesos right now, I
Yep.
still get the Mexican lager
Yep.
flavor with the michelada and the nice little spices on the back end because I have little peppers in here.
Yeah.
You can taste it all. So this is why I
Yep.
enjoy it. But also, the Bud Light micheladas is not micheladas.
Now,
That's tomato juice and beer.
yes.
That is not michelada. One of my good friends, our good friend Dominique from Falsetto, gave me a Bud Light micheladas, and he's
Snap.
This is a lima limon.
oh, get the fuck out of here. No, thank you so much, man.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, man.
I know what I'm doing for the rest of the day. Paying some 500 pesos, I'm fucking drinking this shit.
All right.
No,
Have a good one.
you
Thanks,
too, man.
dude.
Thank you. Oh man, like, that's why you need a good michelada. That's just
Right.
That it doesn't taste like tomato juice. It doesn't coat your tongue. You still enjoy everything about it, and you can still eat food afterwards.
Yes.
Fuck yeah, man.
I'm good for like 2 micheladas usually though, because after that, all that there is tomato in it and spice, and I'm just like, I need something not tomatoey and acidic.
Well,
It's the sour debacle. It's the same. It's in the same family.
I was gonna say
man.
it's the perfect thing we talked about earlier off camera. It's tobacco. Young people or just people in general get into beer. Drink the same thing too much and fucks up your whole stomach.
yep.
You will. Drinking too much sours, it will give you heartburn and fuck up your stomach. Drinking triple IPAs with all those floating hops in it.
Yeah, man.
Hey, after a while, after 4 or 5,
You just drank a plant.
yeah, your stomach's gonna react. You gotta go to the bathroom,
Yep.
man. So you need to change it up.
That's funny.
You need to change it up. But this is the hair of the dog that is it's the reason why people love drinking it.
Yep. Yeah, when we as soon as he did 500 pesos, I was like, dude, I cannot wait to use that beer for a michelada.
Yeah, no, I'm back. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna buy a few 4-packs of 500 pesos. I said 400 pesos.
It's 500 pesos, man.
If I then hang out with my dad today and
Yeah?
just drink some of this.
It's awesome. Where's your dad live?
Mansfield.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, it's a nice little drive. Like 45 minutes.
They're all over the Metroplex, dude.
I try to be. Well, here's the thing.
Well, everything's so fucking spread out.
Dang, that's what I'm about to say. All of us are so far apart. I live in North Dallas, so this is not a bad. It's 10 minutes from
Right.
where I live. So it's not bad. But Falsetto is 30 minutes away. Celestial's 20 minutes away. You know, forget Denton. That's an
Right.
hour away.
And those are expensive Uber rides home because, of
Yeah.
course, everybody is doing the right thing
Yeah.
and not drinking and driving.
1,000%. We take Ubers and Lyfts here, but also
Yeah.
all our friends are making 10% beers.
Yeah.
And again, you have better examples of this than I do. But when you go see your friends, like going to a friend's restaurant or a friend's bar, then when they're making stuff up, they're like, "Here, try this new beer I'm
Right.
trying." They just want feedback. You know, they want to gauge
Right.
where they're at. So even with that experience, you're drinking all these beers, you tasting, you're helping out, giving your opinion about it. But after a while, you're drinking 10%, 12%
man.
beers, you're feeling nice. I'm like, woo, all right.
That's why, man, we drink so much of our easy beers, man, because you can go the duration. You know what I mean? Like, cause we're still working, especially now the tap room's open, man. We're still, I mean, we're here, but we have to.
You gotta be
still deal with-
functional.
Yeah, you gotta be functional, man. But you still want to drink and bullshit with people.
Can I get 500 pesos? I'm gonna make some Michelada in it.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Bobby. No, but it's
I think the tahini is in the fridge.
but it's so weird though. No, I don't go with tahini. Yeah, I'm good. Because if Bobby tries the hot sauce, I'll try the hot sauce with Bobby, so he can experience it.
So there's there's hot sauce in there. No, dude, I watched your video the other day. I'm not fucking with that.
No. I'm not a big fan of it either. I don't recommend it. That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry. That's why we're gonna switch it to beer because it's just hot, man.
I'm gonna smell it. Is this one opened yet?
Yeah, it's open. I'm only gonna keep it for another 4 months. You know, hot sauce doesn't last forever, but
Yeah, it just smells like hot, no flavor.
it tastes pretty good. I am not gonna lie. It tastes pretty good, but it's fucking hot. You know.
This is the one they always finish their show with.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, it's hot. Like, it tastes great, but for people watching now or listening, I'm gonna put a link to that True for Dab episode I did with Joey. It's a heat that just builds. It's like once you take it, we're on a roller coaster. I don't know if you guys ever done edibles before, but if you take too much edibles, you get stuck on it. You're on that ride forever. You're not getting off this ride. You're here for the duration, and that's the hot sauce is. Once you take
You're just
it,
locked in.
You're locked in. You just got to take the process in. And
How long did it take for you to actually like feel some relief from it? You're like, all right, it's not. Well, you can talk again
Yeah.
and like think, because that's what it's like.
No, the first time I did it, I did back to back because I did a little bit first, and
Sounds like we're talking about heroin.
yeah. We're talking about hot sauce, guys.
It's just a little at first.
Yeah. So I did a little bit at first, and then immediately answered a question, which was still building. So
Right.
So I did the second one, which had more of the hot sauce on it, and then that took about 20 minutes. To
I
go
watched
through.
your video. I could tell you were struggling to talk. It's
Yeah.
hard to talk.
Yeah, so I a lot of the video was cut out because I was spitting on the floor. I'm like, I can't. I'm just drooling saliva. And Jerry kept yelling, "He needs milk! He needs milk!" I was like, "No, I got beer." But no, it took about 20 minutes to go through the process. After
Right.
that, it's fine. But I got the second win later that night where I was sleeping and I just got this rush of
Ugh.
heartburn
Oh
and
my God.
burps. I'm just like, oh, I don't feel good.
Yeah.
That's why I was telling Bobby too. I was like, I can't do this to nobody else, man. Like, honestly, most of the time when we record, it's the middle of the day or middle of the week.
Right.
You guys still have families. You still got to work.
Shit to do.
Yeah, shit to do. So I can't ruin you guys' fucking day with doing a fucking hot sauce promotion. So we switched it to beer. But it's there if you guys want to try it. It
Nope.
is there.
Bobby might. Bobby likes hot shit.
Is it made with ghost peppers?
Yeah.
Is
Yeah.
it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Pepper X, which is a hotter than ghost peppers.
yeah, that's some. Damn.
So I don't know, but I do these hot challenges from time to time just to make a torture myself. But no, I can't do that to nobody else.
All right, let me see it.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
Let me see that.
There's clean spoons in here. It comes with a spoon.
Were y'all just doing it off of a spoon?
Yeah.
Y'all weren't doing it like on a chip?
No, we did it off a spoon because we were being rushed out in transit because the band was there.
Oh, right on.
I would definitely rather do it on a taco or fucking.
Oh shit! Look at that. It's like a fold-out spoon.
Yeah. So I ordered more disposable spoons just in case everybody wants to try it. But again, I'm throwing this away by end of November because it's
Save it and make some chili with it or something, man. It might be good. Like,
I don't know what the shelf life is on it though.
I'm not gonna do a full
You know?
spoon, but I'm
No,
gonna
go
taste
ahead.
it has vinegar
Check
and
it up.
salt and shit in it.
Check it up. Check it up. I think you might have to check it up a little bit.
All right.
All right, guys. So Bobby's gonna try a little bit this last dab. He likes hot food. He might not even feel it. I'm telling you, I'm really bad at spicy food. And plus, he has a Michelada next to him, so he has the tomato juice will help him.
Should I put it in there?
After you try it first and tell me if you should put it in there. I think it would taste good in there.
Oh,
It doesn't taste bad.
Oh, I can smell it. Holy shit. Whew.
It's gonna be a little tough. It's gonna be a slow pour.
No, it's good. Alright, let's see how this goes.
I got it. I close that.
I just did like
You
a
put-
touch on my tongue.
Yeah, you
It's
did a
definitely
little
got vinegar in it. But you can taste the vinegar.
I know they cut it with vinegar. I know they cut this with vinegar, but I don't know how much is in it. You just gotta take it so you can get on the roller coaster. You know? Like, it's not even
The roller coaster of fucking up the rest of your day.
If you like spicy food, it's not gonna that little bit. I don't think it will mess you up that much. That's
Do you like spicy?
no. I hate spicy food kills me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it hurts my taste buds like really bad. Like I actually looked into it thinking I was just being a bitch my whole life. And honestly, some people genetically are disposed to being like the capsaicin to really hurt them more than being more pleasurable.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like I fall in that category, or I might just be a bitch too. Just one or the other.
Oh, that's spicy. It's like working its way, like, I just touched it to like the tip of my tongue, but it's like working its way
I'm telling you,
through the back of my
once
mouth.
you hit your tongue, it's you get locked into the roller coaster, and then it's on this tick 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 ride until you get down. You know, it is not it's not pleasant. You should put it in the beer.
No, I don't know about that.
You don't want to do it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to. It was just a fun thing to talk about. Don't definitely put it on your lips. Don't
No.
put it on your lips. I made that mistake. I made that mistake. Don't put that on your lips.
Nah, that's good. That's alright. I had enough.
You breathed it.
No, he put a
taste
little bit
that.
on. He like dipped his tongue in there. Not dipped it, but like it sounded so weird. Like he has touched his tongue to it, and they still want to see
Yeah,
how
man,
it builds.
It's like, it like goes, like I literally just touched the tip of my tongue, but now I can feel it. It's like now it's to the middle of my tongue. Like it's like growing into my tongue.
Yeah, it just you're on a ride now. Imagine taking a full spoonful of
Nah,
that.
hell
Yeah.
no.
That it's a ride that you can't get out of. But no, that's why this is why it's a fun idea to do it with friends and stuff like that for people to try it. But
Right.
if I want to do like be respectful to my friends that's working still, I can't ruin your fucking day, man.
Yeah.
I can't fucking ruin your day, but I can make you.
But I can make you chug 3 beers.
You don't have to drink 3 beers. You don't have to. You
Answer
gotta-
truthfully.
Yeah, either answer a weird, awkward question truthfully or drink a beer. You know? But also, reason why I went on 16-ounce beers because I feel like the first one you would drink it. You might even drink the second one. But that third one, your stomach's full. You
Right.
hurt. It's going to hurt. So you might answer one of the questions.
Right.
You might answer one. We'll see. I don't know how the game's going to work out. It's going like how I thought in my head. Because I just figured if I was in that position, like, okay, I got 3 beers, 3 16-ounce beers. I'm here doing a trivia game or
Right.
answering questions. And I either answer the trivia right or answer the question right, and then
Right.
figure out what happens. I feel like 2 beers hurts, but not too much. But that third beer, if you get to that third beer, it's a thing where you're like, I might just answer this stupid question.
It may not make it down.
No.
There's just not room
It
for
hurts.
it.
Yeah, that's why 16 ounces versus 12. It's just that little bit more that hurts your stomach. And then typically we drink a few beers during the show anyway. So
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I landed on 16
Yeah,
ounces.
there we go.
And then it also doesn't hurt as much. We're still here for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
We can calm down from that little buzz we get. And
Right.
relax. Versus if we do the hot sauce, we're fucked for the whole day.
Done for the whole day. Just the wah-wahs and
Yeah.
heartburn.
Definitely for the next 30 minutes you fucked, and then you get off the roller coaster, and then you have that whiplash. You're like, oh shit! Later that, like I never thought about people having like that the comeback of it
Yep.
later in the evening, and that happened to me that Saturday night where I had these like really bad heartburn
Oh shit.
burps. Yeah, got up, jumped right out of my bed. I was like, dip.
That's awful.
It was awful, and that's why I made the decision. I can't do this to nobody. And then my friend who did it too loves hot sauce, and he was dying.
Oh shit.
Like, I can't do this.
Oh man.
How you feeling now?
That's all right. Not bad. I could have done more.
Good, it's right there.
I could have done more. It's no big deal.
It's right there. All right, so let's get back to
Right, all right.
Back to Odd News. So these beautiful barrels. What we got working on these?
So there's some stuff in there. Yeah. We've got our woodpecker lips. One of the first batches of it that we did back in.
Woodpecker
I
lips.
think it
Is
was
that the Scotch
January.
ale?
It's the
Yeah.
Scotch ale.
You've had it.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to remember. It's like
Yeah.
the Scotch ale.
There's a Scotch ale, and then there's 2 different kinds of imperial stouts in there. So I
Very
still
nice.
haven't decided what I'm gonna do with those barrels, with the beer that's in there. It might. I mean, what's in there right now? I call it barrel strength because it's taking on a lot of the spirit and the wood of the barrel. So they might need to be blended. We'll see when it comes down to it.
That might work for the Scotch ale,
Oh,
depending
yeah,
on how
no.
strong it is. But it might work for the Scotch ale.
No, the plan is to hopefully pull them out and blend them maybe around November.
Okay.
There's a Scotch ale and then 2 different kinds of imperial stouts. So, but
No.
I mean, it was kind of an experiment when we put them in there to begin with. So they went in; they were a little bit lower on the gravity than I would have liked. But again, I think they can
really?
be blended and yeah, they'll work. So
I like rye whiskeys. You know,
yeah.
I love rye whiskeys, and I'm a big fan.
Yeah, rye's good. It's like nice. It's smooth. It's got a little bit of a sort of a crispiness to it. But yeah.
No, awesome. The Scotch ale is also good. You know, I don't think you guys get enough praise for the Scotch ale.
Man, that Scotch ale, that's probably my favorite beer that I make. That
I
beer's
wanted
so
to
good.
order a Scotch ale when we sat down, but I was like, nah, that's too much.
Yeah.
What was it, 11%?
It's 9.5.
9.5.
9.5%, 10%.
It's not too bad.
No, but I mean, again, we talk about this all the time.
It's not necessarily how you want to start your football Sunday.
Yeah,
Yeah, Scotch ale.
I'm gonna start with a 10%. You know, but it's a great beer. I don't think you guys get enough praise for that. And
Yeah.
your, we talked about this last time. Your take of stouts. I like a full mouthfeel stout. You're
Yeah.
on the opposite of that.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it. So you like more traditional South American style stouts?
Yeah, so I like, I kind of like, I mean, I like it to have some body to it, right? But I prefer a drier stout than a sweet stout. I mean, sweet stouts have their place, but for me, it's like, I kind of like, so like my favorite stout is Old Rasputin.
Okay.
Which is a dry, bold
Victory?
Russian Imperial North Coast.
North Coast. That's right, North Coast.
Yep. Yeah, it's that's my all-time favorite beer, and yeah, it's good. So yeah, I like kind of drier stouts, but still with that roasty coffee sort of flavor to them.
Nice.
But just a touch of sweetness, but not too much, right? So the pastry stouts, to me, are, you know, I mean, they're good.
Pastry stouts
and-
it's tough. Like you drink a pastry stout, you're done for the day too.
Yeah.
As far as calorie intake,
Oh, yeah.
diabetes.
Oh yeah. No. Pastry. I mean, but pastry stouts are good, right? They're good. Nightcaps for me.
Oh,
Like.
I take them. Same thing. Maybe
Yeah.
be dessert. I was gonna say like after
Yeah.
dinner, have a nice little dessert
Uh-huh.
because that's what they are.
Mhm.
So much sugars, so
Yeah.
much
The
carbs.
problem though is like they come in like, most of them come in like bombers and stuff, and so it's you gotta have somebody there to share it with you, because I couldn't drink that much.
That's what I'm saying. That's why you have a dinner. Like we have dessert. We either have the cheesecake or we
Yeah.
have this really delicious stout,
Yep.
or mix them together.
Yep.
You know, everybody's being bad together. I feel like if you get a group of people being bad together,
Yeah.
it might work. You know. But like the drier stouts, I don't know. I feel more on the sweeter side of
Yeah.
it. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I like them both. And there's not saying that I won't make a sweet stout. One thing that I have sort of on my list to get to is a peanut butter porter.
Okay.
So it'll be a little bit on the sort of like the chocolatey side with the peanut butter to back it up. But yeah, that's on my list to get to. So no, I'm not opposed to pastry stouts by any means.
Well, I don't think you are. I think because if you're opposed to anything, then you pigeonhole yourself on
Oh,
recipes.
yeah, absolutely.
You know.
Yeah.
And like we said on
No,
top
I'm
of this
all in favor.
podcast, your creativity comes from necessity. So
Yeah.
you make what you can, what you have.
Yeah, we're about to do next week on the schedule to make. If it turns out, we'll release it. If it doesn't, then I never mention this. But
It happens sometimes. Honestly, it happens sometimes.
it's gonna be. I mean, which I like them personally, and they're very polarizing beers. It's a pumpkin ale. So some people hate pumpkin. Some people are adamantly against pumpkin. Some people love pumpkin.
I love pumpkin.
But it's gonna be a pumpkin spice ale. So we're not making a lot of it, but we're making it next week.
Yeah.
So I haven't decided yet if I'm gonna throw a twist on it and make it like a chocolate chip pumpkin pie. So
Ooh, I do like that. I do like that. You have me at chocolate chip pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie. I love pies in general, but I love pumpkin pie, peach pies. So pumpkin pie. But yeah. But people are adamant one way or the other about everything, right?
Yeah.
Nowadays, everybody's like, I love fucking A, but I hate B.
Yeah.
People are like, I love B, but I hate A. Like, why can't we just live in a world we like both?
I know, right?
You
so
know?
yeah, so that's the thing. Like, it was originally gonna be a pumpkin ale, but I think I'm gonna throw a little twist on it, and I think it's gonna be chocolate chip pumpkin pie. So,
I do like that twist on it,
so
though.
yeah.
Chocolate chip pumpkin pie.
Uh-huh.
That's actually a pie. FYI, people listening right now or watching, if you make that pie for me, I would appreciate it. I would drink it with the
My
beer.
wife makes an awesome chocolate chip pumpkin pie. Like, to the point where now when I eat pumpkin pie, I'm like, man,
Where's the chocolate chips?
Where's the chocolate chips? Exactly.
When you get used to something, it's like, you know
Yeah.
what? This is good too, but you know what I'm saying?
I never had a chocolate chip pumpkin pie until she made it. And I'm like, oh shit.
I've never
that's
had one
good.
either until you mentioned it. I was like, that sounds dope. Because I'm pretty sure other people made it before around somewhere, right?
Uh-huh.
But I've never had one. And it's like that pumpkin pie with a little bit of chocolate in it sounds fucking amazing.
Yeah.
It sounds great. Like I don't even know why I never thought about that before. Like, goes hand in hand with the crust and the pie. I don't even know what you call it. Puree?
Yeah, the
The
yeah,
pumpkin pie
I
meat?
guess it would be, yeah. But yeah, it'll be yeah, that beer will be ready here. What is it? October, sometime October. So just
God
in
damn.
time for fall.
I can't wait. Well,
So-
like Bobby said, if you don't see it on a post, he never mentioned it.
Because I never mentioned it.
Yeah, he
right?
never mentioned it. But if you do see it on the post, you better come here and get some. But that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking
yeah,
amazing.
it should be good. So how about that Michelada?
Oh, it's fucking fire.
It's great, right?
It's fucking fire. What is it, 500 pesos?
Mhm.
Oh, it goes hand in hand with it.
Mhm. Yeah, it's really good.
Try not to drink too much, just in case I have to drink a lot during the what is it?
Cowboys game.
No, the game.
Oh,
Our
the
game.
other game. Oh,
Our
shit.
game. I'm trying to pace myself. But Scotch Ale, you know what I'm really impressed with you guys personally is when you guys came out with the Scotch Ale.
Yeah.
That's when we make Scotch Ales anymore.
No.
You and Intrinsic is probably the only two I've heard about making Scotch Ales.
I mean, so there's some Scotch ales that are out there. I made it, man. So that beer, that recipe I made, man, it was years ago. The first time I think I made it in honor of my father-in-law when he passed away.
My
It was probably
condolences.
about 5, 6 years ago. And so I made it, and it came out great. And back then, you know, I was brewing beers that I like to drink, which I'm still doing now. So when we opened, I was like, man, that beer's good. Like, that beer's really, really, really good.
It's really good, yeah.
And so I'm like, all right, well, I mean, if either people like it or they don't, but I'm making that beer because I like to drink it. So,
No, it's really
but
good.
you know, it's a good beer. It's great. And there's people out. That's the thing. It's like there's a lot of like old school people out there that like sort of those like malty traditional beers, and there's not a lot of like there's not enough attention getting paid to those like traditional style beers. I think, in my opinion.
I mean, it's a tough industry, right?
But that's just it, right? It's because the majority of people don't drink that kind of beer. Or at least they don't know that they like it.
Well, they haven't made that part of their beer journey yet.
Yeah,
like, it's
they haven't gotten there yet.
It's
Yeah,
a beer
no,
journey.
Absolutely. And so it's like, you know, I mean, it's one of those beers that ages well. So if it doesn't sell, it just gets better over time. So
I have a few styles. I have a few Scotch ales in my fridge right now. I mean, everything has a shelf life, but it lasts a lot longer than my fucking double, triple
yeah.
IPAs.
Oh, yeah.
That cost more.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes cost more.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I like them all. Like, that's just it. It's really what I'm in the
Well, you
mood
like
for.
beer.
Yeah.
You wasn't here. We were talking to I forget his name right now. The guy who makes the
I think his name is Sergio.
Sergio. Sorry, I forgot your name, Sergio. When you drink this Michelada or you drink your beers, you can tell that there's a passion of enjoyment of it. Because if you don't like it, you know, you're gonna run out of recipes of things you want to drink or do. You know, because it's finite because you don't enjoy it. But when you find someone who does enjoy it, it's like, damn, the recipes are endless because you're like, you know what, I'm gonna mix this and this. I like these two. This might work together. Yeah. Because you're like a mad scientist back there, so you figure out what I could do. You know.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at now. It's like, all right, well, this sounds good. This sounds good. Mm-hmm. So, like when we did the collab with Celestial, it was like, what are we gonna do? All right, well, I knew that I wanted to make a beer that was right for the season. So we kind of wanted to do like an IPA. So we started out with just a basic like light IPA. Then we're like, all right, but if it's a pineapple. Then we were like, all right, well, what kind of IPA? And Matt mentioned, you know, maybe like a pastry IPA. Like, that sounds cool. And so then we came back with maybe a pineapple and banana IPA, right? So So all that kind of just like developed, and it ended up turning into a double because I'm like, all right, well, a pineapple, like a pastry IPA, you're gonna have some meat behind it, right? So it's gonna feel heavy. You gotta have a good mouthfeel on it, which it's hard to get on the lighter IPAs. So we ended up going double, and just kind of a progression. And it's like, all right, well, how are we gonna do it? All right, we'll try this, and we can do this because we did this on this beer, and so that should work. And it came out totally fine. So
it's fucking fire. Again, like between the three of you guys. And this is my personal list, and that's not like it's a brewery rankings or anything like that. But it's in my opinion, the three breweries that's been killing nonstop for the last 6 months is False Idol, you guys, and Celestial. You know,
thanks, man.
Consistently
that's good company.
Thanks.
Oh yeah, Celestial's killing the game right now with great beers. You guys are killing the game right now with great beers, and people are starting to realize False Idol and Will, the brewer from False Idol, knows what he's talking about, knows what he's doing, because he's also kicking into high gear of making dope beers all the time too.
Absolutely.
But it's just mother of enjoyment and creativity with you guys, that you guys consistently put something different out every time. It's not the same beer. You know, you're not like you put out the same double IPA or like, hey, it's a double IPA this week, double IPA next week that's slightly different, and then the following week slightly different from that one.
Right.
You know, it's you guys go on these freaking weird journeys, and I like that too. I like that because again, everybody's beer journey is different. You don't know where they are in their beer journey, but when I come in here and I see another Scotch ale or I see a fucking lager, I'm like, that's what gets me excited.
Right.
Because I get a triple from anybody. I get a double from anybody. Not everyone's good, but I can find it everywhere.
What I really like to see is like when people come in and it's like they walk in the door, and in my head I'm thinking, all right, this guy's probably gonna like this kind of beer, you know, just whatever. And then it's like they just surprise you with you get like people that come in that are like 65, 70 that you wouldn't think. Like there was a guy in here the other day, yesterday actually, or on Friday, came in,
Friday?
old man. Older gentleman, probably about 65, 70, older than that, probably 70, 75, came in, really into hazy IPAs.
Old Texas cowboy, looking dude.
Cowboy hat.
I'll put money.
Straight A's, bro.
All right, that's awesome.
If we had a video picture, like a picture of the guy, it's like, all right, here's $100 on the table. Pick the style of beer he likes the most. I'm going lager. Pilsner.
Uh-huh.
If I'm gonna be weird, something barrel aged.
Yeah.
Do I have to pick something barrel aged? I'm gonna do like stouts or porters or Scotch ale stouts, like Scotch ale barrel aged. But fucking, I would never say hazy.
Right. No, it was funny.
Period. Or like him walking in and be like, I like sours.
And it wasn't
That's
wasn't just that he liked hazies. He was like, he knew about, people that made hazies. And he's like, He's like, I just had one from Celestial and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, man, this guy, he knows what he's talking about.
It's funny.
Like,
That is hilarious.
I mean, they're talking like, he was
though.
like 75, 80 for sure. Like, he was old.
Hey.
But, I mean, he knew what he liked. And that's just it. He even said, he's like, now that they started coming out with these hazy IPAs, he's like, I can't stop drinking them. I'm like, oh, awesome.
I mean,
great.
it's the reason why it's the most popular style of beer right now because it is delicious.
Yeah.
You know, it's a full mouthfeel, a lot of bang for your buck as far as like taste buds and
Yeah.
also ABV.
Yeah.
You know, you get everything you want in it, so I can see why people buy it. But again, I put money on the table. I would not have
Yeah.
guessed that.
No,
from
neither would I.
But that's why it's
But
funny.
it's great.
People's beer journey is different.
So I mean, I never assume what people like. So when they walk up, I'm like, well, what kind of beer do you normally drink, right? Like that's the first question. And you know, usually they're like IPAs. Okay, well, what kind of IPAs? Do you like bitter, or do you like, you know, more like juicy, sweet, like fruity tasting, right? Like which one? And so, because yeah, you can't just say IPA anymore.
No, you can't.
There's a difference.
So the funny thing about it, I've only been doing this kind of like beer podcast kind of stuff for like 4 years now. You know, more of just the drunk show in the beginning. But when I first started doing just the drunk show, I could just say I don't like IPAs and be like, yeah, I get it. You
Right.
know, I get it because it was only one style.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Everything was bitter, but it's
Yeah.
different amounts of ABV, different amounts of IBUs in it, and that was just typically what it was. I was like, I don't like IPAs, but now like I don't like IPAs. Like what? You don't like hazy IPAs? You know, like it gets crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
It's just beer in general has changed in the 4 years I've been around.
Yep.
I can only imagine what you guys think, but yeah, actually I do want to know what you guys think. What do you guys feel like in the last 6-7 years the change in the beer industry and just to make people drinking beer? Like,
I mean, so it was a weird progression, right? So when the craft beer industry, like when it first started going, you know, you had a lot of like craft breweries that would open up, and you would have, you know, your pale ale, your IPA, your brown ale, an amber, and a stout or a porter, and that was pretty much it. Maybe you know, a lighter beer. But then as it sort of progressed, like that became like sort of, okay, that was what you did then. What are you gonna do now, right? So now it's sort of progressed into a little bit like, I mean, people's palates have changed, right? So they've become more evolved. So back then, when all you had was Miller Lite, Coors Light, Bud Light, like, you know, Budweiser, you know, all that stuff. Well, before when you had that, well, a brown and our amber was a awesome change from that. Right?
Would have been
So-
because it has more flavor. Yeah.
Absolutely, right? And so now it's like, well, brown or an amber, well, what else you got? You know, what's the more complex thing that you've got besides a brown or an amber? And so, yeah, so it's progressed. I'm curious to see where we're going to be in like 10 years, like, because
I'm very curious
because
about
I
it.
mean, with the way it's looking now, with, you know, slushies and smoothie IPAs and smoothie sours and all
Diabetes is
that
all I
good
hear
stuff.
about that. That's all I hear.
Like, that's where the market, that's where the industry seems to be headed. And then what happens is, like, you get these people that kind of just get set in their ways, and they're like, oh, I'm never gonna make that. I'm never gonna do that, right? Which is what happened with the old guard, and I'm never gonna make a hazy IPA. Like, that's just a fad, and then it's not a fad, and then you're left behind, right? So
As much as I love, perfect example, as much as I love the crew at Petty Colas, as much as I love Petty Colas himself,
Yeah.
and everybody, the whole team up there, everybody's great. The beers are great. They're like, I'm never making a hazy IPA. They made a hazy IPA,
Yeah.
like, what, 6-7 months ago?
I mean, the market dictates, right?
It does
like,
dictate it.
Like look at sort of Monkish, for example, right? So Monkish out in L.A., they make awesome. I mean, they're probably like the forefront of hazy makers, right? So like they're awesome. Their shit's really good. And when they first, you know, opened, they had a sign that said, "No IP will never make an IPA," something to that effect, right? And
I didn't even know that.
yeah, absolutely. So they refused. I mean, I think they opened as a Belgian style brewery, and they refused to make an IPA. Well, now they're like the leader in hazy IPAs. Like, they're who everybody looks up to, and so
Yeah.
it's like you gotta. I mean, there's a reason why people like what they like.
Is it what I don't appreciate from anybody, myself included? You don't want to pigeonhole yourself to a standard. You know, you want to pigeonhole yourself to this. This is my brand.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's good, but not to be creative. Like like you can pigeonhole yourself to, and what I'm trying to say, guys, is standard of quality. Like,
Yeah.
I'm only gonna put out good beers.
Yeah.
That's something you could hold yourself accountable
Yeah.
for. But if you hold yourself accountable, like, I'm only making these 5 beers.
Yep.
What you eliminate is customers.
Yeah.
what you eliminate is your creativity.
Yeah.
Because what you find out with these 5 or 4 beers, or just one beer you make, it's like now you're stuck.
Yeah.
After a while, you're gonna make every combination you can think of.
Yeah, I mean it's hard, right? So like when you're mass producing beers, like when you're doing it at the level that we're doing, like one batch at a time, it's easy to sort of, you know, mix and come up with new beers all the time. But when you're mass producing stuff and you've got accounts to feed and you only have so many fermenters, like your creativity gets limited, right? Because you've got a set amount of orders you got to fill. And there's these 4 beers that need to get made to fill those orders. And it's like, all right, well, we got to spend a lot of time making these 4 beers. We are now limited to only this amount of time. So that's kind of the sort of what we're starting to run into, but not so much. We're making it a point to still experiment with all sorts of shit. So there'll be new beers coming out all the time.
No, of course. Hold on. For people watching, Charlie, we're in the middle of working, so Charlie's still working. Just FYI, he wasn't like why he's walking away. It's not because we're not talking to him. He's still working. He is still working. One point I just want to add on to you, Bobby, is I learned this from Legal Draft. I like their well, I shouldn't say that. They have okay beers, right? But they make beers for mass production, right?
Yeah.
And one of the owners, should say, of Legal Draft was like, "Do you respect Bud Light?" I was like, "No, I don't like Bud Light." He was like, "Okay," but that's not what the question is. Do you respect them? I was like, "I don't know. I'm like lost." He's like, "Because do you think Bud Light makes their beer out of one location, or they have several locations around the world? They make the same beer and taste the same wherever you go.
Yeah.
You think that's easy?" I'm like, "No, I didn't think about that." Like, okay. And how much they have to constantly have to fill? Do you think it's easy to make up demands? He's like, "I didn't think about that." It's like, well, you may not like the beer. You don't have to like Bud Light or Miller Lite or Coors Light, any big production beer.
Yeah.
You don't have to like it. But when you get to it, you got to understand that they are filling, like you said, orders.
Yeah.
They're filling orders. Also, they can't make it all at one location. They have several locations around the United States, several locations in Canada, Mexico, and in Europe.
Yeah.
So, like, they have to make the same beer taste the same in Europe that does taste in Texas or taste in Florida, you know? So, like, I didn't think about it like that.
Yeah.
So, there's respect's there, and it's a different hurdle to fall into. But most breweries that we talk about here locally are not that. So, if you pigeonhole yourself, you're kind of fucked.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why you guys are winning, in my opinion. That's why you guys are winning. Charlie, I have a question for you. Similar to the same thing about the industry.
Yep.
Have you seen a change in the industry over the last 5 years as far as consumer side or sales side?
I mean, we've only been doing this for less than a year. And to be quite frank, I don't know exactly what. I mean, I knew what we knew, right? I mean, full transparency, Bobby was a much bigger influence of me as far as I mean, I didn't have a real good hazy until probably 2 years ago and change. I had whatever was around here, and it was before some of like the usual suspects, Turning Point, Celestial, had really put one out. And so I'd had one here or there and was like, whatever. And then he actually brought me one from Monkish. And we had started talking about the brewery, and I was like, and I tasted that, and I was like, oh, well, fuck, can you make this? Can you make?
Wow, yeah.
And he was like, well, no, not yet. But so yeah, I mean, I think it's changing. I mean, I've always been in the industry in some form or fashion, and definitely, I mean, just look when you go to a big box restaurant, they're gonna always have, and whether or not you consider Deep Ellum, true craft. I mean, they're big now, right?
Yeah, of course.
But they're still, but you still see, like, even with local restaurants that are big box restaurants, national chains, they still try to have something on from some of the local breweries. Now it's going to be the larger local breweries.
Of course, that's how everything works, right?
But you can go into a lot of like chain restaurants now and see Velvet Hammer. Of course, you're going to see Deep Ellum Blonde. So even in big box restaurants, they still want to have, it's not just Miller Lite, Bud Light, Ultra, and then a Modelo or Dos Equis. They're going to have something that's local. And it's maybe big local, but it's still local.
Perfect example, I was at Dave & Buster's on 75 on Friday night. They had Deep Ellum Blonde.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Whatever you feel about Deep Ellum doesn't matter. They're still local.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So to have that on there at Dave and Buster's, which, like you were saying,
Right.
franchise corporation,
Right.
Around the United States, like to have that on there, it's a big deal. It's a big deal. But again, I mean, you're right. I don't know. Local hazy is great,
Right.
And a lot of it has to do with. I keep saying the big three. I keep forgetting Turning Point.
Yeah.
I love those guys at Turning Point.
Yeah, dude.
I don't want to sit there and act like I don't love those guys.
Right.
I love their beers. I love their beers. But the beers I've been drinking the most, I've been drinking OHB, False Idol, Odd Muse, Intrinsic, Lakewood, Manhattan Project, and Three Nations, right? Out of those three, and again, because my pocket is limited, I can't buy from every brewery
Hey,
every
man, it's
week.
an expensive
Yeah, of
hobby.
course.
Yeah, so I can't buy from everybody. But out of my experience, the newer beers that coming out at Odd Muse, Celestial, and I didn't even mention Celestial on that list. Celestial and False Idol, the new beers have been fucking dope, you know. But because the creativity you guys have and the freedom you guys have to do is great.
Yeah.
Deep Ellum is different, you know.
Yeah,
they have accounts to fill now, and same thing with, like I mentioned, the story about Bud Light.
Yeah.
It's different.
I mean, and I mean, I've never really brewed on a really large system, right? So I don't know what kind of like
Expensive.
limitations you have, like as far as making something that tastes like one of our hazies on a 60 to 120 barrel system, right?
Yeah,
Like,
expenses become
it's-
different.
Yeah.
I learned that from from a brewery, Texas Ale Project, or a bigger chain, and that's another brewery that you might see in some of these
Yeah,
bigger
for sure.
restaurants. Texas Ale Project. They make production style beers as far as they want to make it into restaurants, stuff like that. Again, that's their brand, that's their style. There's nothing wrong with that, right? But they did a homebrew competition last year called the White Rabbit.
Oh, nice.
And every time you have 4 winners, and if the winner for every round got their beer into the tap house,
Oh, awesome.
and then the winner, those 4 winners will compete in a private competition against each other to see who's gonna put it into market.
Oh, damn.
And that's how it went. It was a very interesting concept. I
Right.
liked it. But what they had to talk to these homebrewers when I was there for their second competition, like, hey, this like vanilla caramel beer one. I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. It deserved to win by
Yeah.
miles.
Right.
And they were like, okay, cool. See this big tank? How much your vanilla cost when you
Right.
put this
Yeah,
in?
dude.
Like, we can't afford that.
Yeah,
So let's
vanilla
tweak the recipe
is-
to afford this. And that's when I was like, okay, there's
Yeah.
levels to it.
Oh, yeah.
Privately, I could put whatever I want.
Sure.
And I'm willing to front the bill myself
Yeah.
to put whatever I want in it. And then when you have these bigger tanks, then you really have to think about it. Like, is it affordable to make this beer as expensive as I do in
Right.
my own home
dude.
to sell to people? And then will people buy it at $20 a
Yeah.
fucking
Sure.
glass? No one would buy that.
Yeah.
But so
Yeah,
I didn't think
that's-
about that.
Yeah, no, definitely. Then that's the thing that we have to think about now. It's like, all right, well, like every pound of hops like extra that I have. Like if I drink a beer, like for example, we got a double back there that we're making, and we dry hopped it on Friday. I tasted it yesterday. I'm like, it needs more hops. So I'm like, all right, I'm just about to tack on another, maybe like $200, $300 to this beer.
God damn.
Because I feel like it doesn't taste right and it needs more hops.
And
Like,
we
and it's good as it is, but I feel like personally it could use more.
Well, that's
So-
quality control, right? Yeah.
And we read everybody's comments. We know that sometimes craft beer, especially the super hyper local craft beer, is like, oh, those are, that shit's expensive. And it is. It is a pricey hobby. We get it.
Yeah.
But those fucking ingredients are super expensive. And when you're not buying on a large scale, like Deep Ellum or something like
Yeah,
that,
Lakewood.
I mean, it's quantity, right? So if you're not ordering a ton, you're not getting it at a super kick-ass price.
No,
So-
you wouldn't, and that's why I feel like I'm different, because I'm lucky enough to be friends with a lot of people within the industry, so I get it. So when I see a price, like, for example, what is the mango beer? It was $20 for a 4-pack.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, the Texas Tan Lines.
It's $20 for a 4-pack, or can I go to the local gas station down the street and get me a 6-pack of
Yeah.
Bud Light for 10?
Yeah.
Of course I can. I end up with a little bit more beer at the end of
Yeah.
it, but you have to make the distinction of like supporting local, which is a very blanket statement now.
Right.
Support local, okay, but it's supporting local, but understanding local means they their cost adds
Right.
to it as well.
No, it's
Like,
different margins.
And I mean, I guess my whole goal when I make beer isn't necessarily that people come and just buy because it's local, right? Like it's like, all right, this beer tastes good, and there's a reason why it costs what it costs, right? Like, like fruit's not cheap.
That's another thing.
and
Fruits
so-
and I didn't even add the mangoes. I was just thinking about the
dude.
hops
Mangoes
on
and
it.
passion
Oh,
fruits.
dude.
Yeah,
Passion fruit's probably the most expensive fruit out there. So, but
when
anyways,
you
yeah.
see anything with vanilla in it,
So
it's
not-
expensive.
oh yeah, vanilla is super fucking expensive. Yeah, but I mean, that's just it, right? It's like, yes, you can go and buy a beer at a grocery store. It's not gonna taste the same. It's like if you're looking for this particular flavor and then you enjoy it, then yeah, you'd probably be willing to pay that much for it. If not, then I understand that. Like I get it, and it's cool.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I mean, that's the price we have to charge because of the ingredients that go into these beers. Like the double that we're gonna release here in the next few weeks. Like I could release it as it is right now, and people would like it. But I feel like it needs more hops, and so I'm gonna put more hops in it, and it's gonna be a little bit. I mean, we
Costs
probably
more.
My Tesla lease is expensive, man. And I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for you. I was like, I didn't think you drove a Tesla. but I was
100%
waiting for you.
kidding. Don't have a Tesla.
No, I didn't think he had, guys. I didn't think he had a Tesla, but I was waiting for him to finish his statement. I was like, I don't know where he's going with this, but I was like, the Tesla cars are great. I don't know where he's going with this.
I got old car.
So do I. So do I. But so when you, the point I'm trying to make, and the point I think we're all talking about, we know it's an expensive hobby, right? But at the end of the day, it's because you're a smaller production.
Yeah.
So everything costs a little bit more for you.
Yes, absolutely.
If I could buy 1,000 pounds of hops,
Oh yeah, it'd be way cheaper.
those people would sell it for me way less.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I'm buying so much of it.
Yeah.
But the hops expire. They can't. If you buy 1,000 pounds of hops in the beginning of the year, that's not gonna last through the end of the year.
No. Yeah. No, I mean, it's no, for sure. Definitely, economies of scale is huge, and we don't necessarily have that luxury. And right now, one thing that I'm sort of working on is getting our yeast program dialed in, because right now we pretty much do a new pitch of yeast for every beer that we make.
No way,
and
do you really?
That's one of the
expensive.
most expensive parts of the beer.
That's another people don't think about. That,
dude, it is crazy.
The thing that
expensive.
builds the alcohol you want.
Oh man, and it's like, and the higher the gravity of the beer, the more expensive, the more yeast you have to use. So, it builds up. And with these, like normally, you reuse yeast, you can reuse it. But with these hazy IPAs, we dry hop during fermentation, so we can't really reuse that yeast unless we change our recipe, so to speak, right?
Yeah.
So if we choose to dry hop after, maybe we could, salvage some of the yeast, but yeah, no, I'm looking at ways to sort of propagate our own yeast and kind of reduce our costs from that standpoint. But as of right now, yeah, yeast is probably one of our biggest costs. Yeast, then hops.
I would imagine it being yeast because again, not killing them, but you can salvage, like you mentioned earlier.
I mean, if we could, and we use.
But even if you could, you still need new batches of yeast anyway to build some of those colonies. Unless you have the incubators, incubators in the back. Do you have incubators?
No, we don't. We have some yeast brinks. So I mean, you can harvest yeast on certain beers if we're producing them frequently enough. So we haven't hit that level of production.
We're also getting in the weeds here, guys. People listening. Mind you, I don't know shit about beer. So I just work in the labs and I know about cultivating bacteria. That's all I know. So as we get into weeds, I'm just gonna smile, guys. I'm just gonna smile. No, but I do understand cost. I've worked in the beer industry for years. Not the beer industry, but I should say alcohol industry for years. And I'm an avid drinker. If I was a local dive bar and I bought 4 cases of Jim Beams a month, that's going to be more expensive than my local Applebee's down the street from me who buys 4 cases a day.
Oh, right.
Their cost is going to be drastically lower because their volume is drastically higher than mine. So when you come to my spot and you realize, hey, my Jim Beam costs the same as Applebee's Jim Beams, I'm not making that much more money.
Right.
I may be selling for very little cost. Yeah. And that's a lot of making beers. Like, people think you guys are successful or Celestial successful, Turnberg successful, which you guys are. You make dope beers. But the margins on you guys are so tight. And that's the point I'm trying to make. Listen, you guys make dope beers, and you don't gouge price nobody here. Celestial don't gouge price. Turning Point don't gouge price. false idol on gouge price because it's the market demands it. Because $20-$25 is probably in the range of really good craft beer. But you guys don't make a lot of margin on that. It's super tight. And this lockdown is also a big killer for that too as well. And plus the beer tenders here. So I just want people to know, we're talking about pricing, we're talking about selling, but the margins are not the greatest either.
I mean, and to tack on to Armor, I mean, we don't have the luxury, like we don't have a canning line yet. So we have an additional cost because we've got, we have the mobile canners come in and can all of our stuff.
Oh, that's how you guys got it done.
Yeah, so they charge us by the case of what they can, and so, tack that onto the everything else, and it's like, all right, well,
and then you got rent, lights, and everything else.
Yeah, man, everything adds up.
So I know we said support local is a blank statement, but the reason why we say support local is because the margins aren't the greatest, the money's not the greatest, but they make great beer that you like. So if you're watching this right now, I'm looking at the camera. Listen, if you like the beers, buy the beers that you like, and that's all I ask.
Yeah.
But understand why certain things are priceless. Don't ask your brewer for free stuff. Don't go in there and be like, hey, can I get a free glass? Or I'm always here, can I get a hookup? Listen, everybody's working. Your boss will never come to you like, hey, man, you've been here coming in every day for the last 5 months without skipping a day or being late. So I'm going to pay you an extra day for not being late. No one's going to do that for you. So take care of your local people, take care of your beer tenders, and love each other, man. But understand, don't ever get mad at a brewer being like, hey, it's $24 for a 4-can. I was like, well, I could buy it cheaper down the street. Don't ever say that. I hate those people. I hate those people. I'm talking to you. Wherever you are right now, I'm talking to you. Hate those people. But no, I love you guys, man. You guys make great stuff.
Thanks, man.
Thank you. I appreciate
Make great stuff. And I don't know where to go from here.
Well, we can do the
We
challenges.
On that beautiful note. Yeah. I was trying to think of another thing to talk about, but I think we talked about a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Talk about a little bit of everything. Let's do the drinking challenge.
Cool, man.
So
What do we need to set up?
We're gonna wrap this podcast up. First and foremost, guys, I'm here with Bobby again and Charlie. I was here with Charlie, but you could follow our Muse on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and then you can also go on our website. You can pre-order your beers if you want to. Still curbside assistant is still going.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So we can do order online and pull up. Give us a call. We'll bring it out to your car.
That's awesome.
Or you can come into the tap
Now
room.
the tap room's open, and let's end on this note. First weekend actually open. That's where I wanted to end. I was trying to think.
Yeah.
Yes, your first weekend open. How do you guys feel it?
Man, it's been good. It was a good turnout. It's been interesting, having to deal with, our new capacity limitations or whatever. So, yeah, yesterday we hit full capacity for a little while.
Yeah, that sucked. But I mean,
some people got turned. Some people left instead of wanting to sit around and wait.
Well, that's also tough because you don't know how people are going to stay here and drink all the time.
right, and I don't blame them. I mean,
No, I don't
it is
blame
what it
them.
is.
So, but yeah, I mean, it's been good. Everybody seems to be keen on following the rules. We didn't have any issues with masks.
No.
Like we did the first go around.
I feel like at this point, you guys, it's in the weeds now since the brewery's opening out later than everybody else.
Yeah.
Everybody's in the weeds of we're in the motion of it, mask wearing.
Yeah, the first time when we opened in June, at that point I don't think masks were mandated yet, but we were requiring masks to come into the tap room, and so I think that's why we were getting pushback back then because they weren't mandated, but we wouldn't let anybody in that wasn't wearing a mask, and so back then people would leave when we told them they had to wear a mask, they would just leave. So it's all right. But this go around, we haven't had any issues with it. So
No, I think people also understand too. But I'm excited you guys are open. As far as feels of actually seeing customers again, how you feeling about that?
oh
how you guys,
man, it's pretty
customer
awesome.
feedback in faces.
Yeah, man. It's been
It's
5 people for the last 6 months.
it's interesting.
That's right.
We
named
love
the
each
whole
other,
crew.
but
That's right. You were you named the whole crew. I was like, did I really?
Yeah. So
No, it's interesting from several notes. One is getting to see all the people that would come in regularly before we had to shut down. Seeing those people again is awesome. And then the second thing is during the shutdown, I would see all these names pop up on our online ordering platform, right? And it'd be the same people over and over coming back to get beer. And then they're starting to come in, and now I see their name on the tab. I'm like, oh shit, Now I know who that person is who's been coming here.
You knew his
Has never
car
been
more
in
than
the
you knew
tap
his
room.
face.
Yeah.
Or, without his mask.
That just
Oh,
get
the other
weird,
day,
yeah.
Like for instance, like one guy had been coming here for a while, and I went out to the parking lot to do something. I came back in, I was like, Gabe, is so and so here? Because I recognized his car, but I didn't know what he looked like. And so Gabe was like, yeah, he's sitting right over there. I was like, oh shit. So,
Just get weird with the curbside assistance. You do know cars at that point, even like
Yeah, man. You know cars and people's faces from like here
Yeah.
down.
in license plates for lack of a better, like being creepy. You're like, yeah, I know that license plate. I've seen that before.
Yeah.
No, I'm really happy that you guys are open. For anybody here coming and visiting from Dallas, watching this from outside the state or within the state that's not in the DFW area, Muse is definitely a must stop.
Well,
You
thanks,
know,
man.
Thanks, man.
1000%. I love you guys,
Oh,
and
thank you.
that's it. Let's we're gonna do a hot food challenge. No, I'm not. I'm not. No, we're gonna do So you probably see this video challenge before you watch this podcast or listen to this podcast. We're gonna do 3 rounds of Truth or Chug.
Truth or chug?
Truth or chug?
All
Truth or
right.
Chug.
16 ounces?
16 ounces of
16
beer.
ounces.
Yeah, it's 3 rounds.
Oh, man.
Beers are choices. But on that note, guys, Charlie, thank you so much
You're
for being
welcome,
a part
man.
of it.
Thank you, dude.
Also, thanks for letting me be here. Number
Yeah,
one.
dude,
Number two,
absolutely.
Bobby, thank you for always for letting me be here. You guys are the greatest. I have nothing but respect and love for you guys.
Thank you, man.
And we'll do this again. We'll do this
Yeah,
again.
Absolutely.
Thanks, man.
Oh, Michelada,
Laka.
Laka, Instagram, Facebook as well, and put that in the
Dude,
description
that
down
stuff
below.
is good.
And I'm not
Well, for
exactly
the
sure
next
it's
few
going to
weeks.
break out. In the next few weeks, we should have it here, and we're going to sell it on consignment for him. So
Nah, I'm super excited. I can't, like I said, I'm gonna look it up for that cucumber because I can only imagine how refreshing that cucumber would be on the back end of it. So, it's been great. It's been an interesting podcast. I love
yeah,
it.
thanks,
Yeah.
man.
Now let's get drunk.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. Don't drink and drive. Take a lift. Have a safe week. Peace.
Thank you.
Cheers.